Hi everyone, my name is Nick Besso. I'm a dietitian at Suma, a multidisciplinary practice that specializes in treating eating disorders and sports nutrition in both Montreal and the United States. Today we're going to talk about the full range of the hunger fullness card and how where you decide to eat on the hunger portion of the card might impact actually where you decide to stop. So if you haven't seen the hunger portion of the hunger fullness card yet, I would encourage you to do so right now. So ideally, somebody would start eating at a level 3 of hunger, which is hungry. And just as a reminder, this is when you have an interest in food, your stomach is not distended, but not necessarily growling or cramping either. But the thought of food does sound interesting in the immediate future. So if you typically eat at a level 3, so hungry, typically, the body does still feel safe. It trusts you to respond when it's sending signals that you should go get food. And you would normally, and when I say normal, there are, of course, tons of nuances with regards to that, but you would normally eat to a level 8, which is fullness. And this is when you are eating a meal. So the way we describe fullness, we review this in the fullness portion of the hunger fullness card, but just as a reminder, full is when there is actually pressure on your abdomen and the thought of food is no longer interesting. So a lot of times, if you remember from the previous video, people will actually delay eating when they feel hungry and push it to strong hunger, extreme hunger, or empty. So when we feel strong hunger, our hunger cues are very physical. So people with eating disorders or disordered eating oftentimes wait for physical cues before they allow themselves to eat because they are oftentimes always thinking about food. So always at a level 3, and they have a concern that this is due to gluttony or a lack of control around food, but it's actually just that they're under fueling typically. So if you wait to have physical cues of hunger, so growling or cramping, oftentimes the body has already felt a stress in response to the delayed response and will push you a bit past a comfortable level of fullness. So maybe there'll be a lot more pressure on your abdomen. Maybe you'll start feeling sick and nauseous, and typically that's a level 9, so uncomfortable fullness. Let's say you're somebody who delays eating throughout the day, or you have a very busy job, or you're at home with the kids and there's so much going on, or you're at school. So a bunch of different situations where the adrenaline is pumping and it's very easy to skip eating and kind of like fuel off that adrenaline throughout the day and kind of getting tasks done. So then you get home and you're probably at a level 1 or 0, so extreme hunger or empty. Typically, people will start eating and it will almost kind of like, in air quotes, like awaken the bear. So you start eating, let's say you have your dinner, a normal portion at dinner, and you continue to feel ravenous. You have a second portion, you feel maybe less hungry and ravenous, but you are not satisfied at all. And then you have dessert, and then maybe you're sitting down at night watching TV and you keep getting up to get a snack, telling yourself like, I'm just not satisfied, like I just need to get something else. That is actually because your body is in a great deal of distress. It feels like there was a lack of food in the environment and that you have finally found food and you should eat as much of it as possible just in case this might happen again. Where this can become very problematic is with chronic dieters or people that have a lot of guilt and shame with, in air quotes, overeating or eating past a comfortable level of fullness, is that they'll try to make up for this the next day. So the cycle kind of continues where you start accessing food when you're at a level 1 or 0, so extreme hunger or empty, and then you eat till painfully full, but feel that it's actually your fault for not being able to control yourself around food, whereas it's actually a very normal biological and physiological response that if you restrict your intake over a long period of time and your body senses an urgency to eat, it will naturally push you to eat until uncomfortable fullness or painfully full. So that's an overview of the hunger fullness card and how we can apply the spectrum with clients or with ourselves to better understand how we respond to our hunger cues and how this might impact when we stop. Thanks again for joining us today. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you again shortly.